Hi guys, I'm Holly, the owner and voice behind Glitter Dip Sips, and welcome to our very first YouTube tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make a glittered snow globe. I am so excited, so let's just get started. I always like to start with my lid, so first I'm going to take that little rubber piece out where the straw hole is with a pair of tweezers. Be careful though, because this piece can rip and we don't want that to happen. Once I finesse that little piece out, I'm going to sand and paint the lid. I just use a little scuff pad to scuff up the top of the lid and around the sides. This will give your base paint a nice surface to adhere to. Don't forget about the side of the tumbler. We don't want to miss any spots. Once I'm done scuffing up my lid, I am going to come in with my 91% alcohol in a little spritz bottle, and I'm just going to spritz it on there, grab a paper towel, and wipe it down, getting rid of any of like the little dust or debris. We don't want anything left behind. And then I'm going to sit this off to the side and let it air dry and start on our tumbler. The theme of this tumbler is going to be Valentine's Day, kind of, sort of, you'll see. So I'm going to be using one of our custom mixes called Elm Street. But do not let the name fool you. This mix is giving all the sexy vibes. It has red, it has black, and it has gold. This mix was created by Sarah over at Zor Valley Vinyl, and she absolutely killed it. I am so obsessed with this mix. I'm going to use my large tea strainer to strain out all the extra fine glitter. I've found that the extra fine glitter is the source of your clumping and clogging in the flow of your snow globe tumbler. So we're going to try and get as much as we can of that out. Now, you can't always get every little piece out, but that's okay. Just try to get as much as you can out. Once I'm done straining all that extra fine glitter out, I will start adding the glitter to my snow globe tumbler. I'm going to use my little funnel and a pair of tweezers to work the glitter inside, and then once I get it all in there, I'm going to shake this tumbler. I'm going to shake it hard. And I'm going to disperse all the glitter that's in there evenly. And you can use as much or as little glitter as you want. As you can see, I have it about like maybe a third of the way filled up, but you can totally do whatever works for you. I think it's all in personal opinion. Now I'm going to use my 50-50 glycerin water mix and my syringe, and I'm going to start filling my snow globe tumbler. Now I'm only going to fill it halfway, and then I'm going to give it some time to gas off. I'm also going to shake it up to help disperse that glitter again and get any trap bubbles out. While I let my snow globe tumbler gas off, I'm going to start painting my lid. I'm using Grunge Gray Flippin' Awesome paints from the Crystal Company and a Wet n Wild makeup brush from the $1.25 tree. This base paint has really good coverage, so I typically only need one coat to have it completely covered. I'm going to set the lid off to the side and let it dry and check on our snow globe tumbler. So at this point, I'm just checking to make sure that there's no like clumping at the brim of the tumbler, and if not, then I'm ready to move on. And I'm going to finish filling up the tumbler the rest of the way with our water and glycerin mix. I like to use this little plastic syringe because it helps reduce the amount of bubbles. We don't want to put any bubbles in as we're filling. Once our tumbler is completely full, I like to set it off to the side and let it gas off for 24 hours. While I wait for that to finish gassing off, I like to start on my lids. So right now I'm using, they're like a black, gray, charcoal color rhinestone. I believe they're called Hemanites, but I could be wrong. They are from Crown Crystals, and I'm also going to use her Crystalaze glue to apply the rhinestones. This glue is phenomenal. It has like this little pin thing inside the lid, so when you close your glue bottle, it doesn't allow for the spout to clog, and it's so fabulous. I love it so much. So when I'm rhinestoning a lid, I like to trim out the inside and the outside, or trim out the lid. So for instance, right now, I'm going to trim out around the straw hole and then the outer rim of the lid, and then start filling all the way in. I 100% recommend completing your lid all in one setting. That way, if you need to maneuver any of your stones, you can do that while the glue is still wet, and you don't have to like rip anything up to get that seamless finish. Now I'm going to come in and start to seal up the hole on the bottom of the snow globe tumbler. I'm going to spray the tumbler with 91% alcohol. I want to get rid of any of the like glycerin residue or any oils from your fingers off of there. We don't want any of that left behind. I get all of my snow globe tumblers from Ava Jane's Blanks, and she provides this amazing little plug that sits right in the hole perfectly. So then I'm going to come in and add a little bit of my UV resin from Counterculture DIY. I do not use a lot of the UV resin. I just want enough to secure that plug in there properly so there's no leakage. And then I'm going to come in with my popsicle stick and smooth it out to make sure it's completely flattened, because nobody wants a wobbly tumbler. I'm going to use a UV light to cure this UV resin. Now, if you don't have one, that's okay. You can always use the sun outside. And now it's time for decals. So I'm using my Ultimate Tumbler tool from Cami Page Boutique to help me find the center of my tumbler of where I want my decal to go. This is a white cast decal from Elena's gift shop. I am a hoarder of white cast decals because I love that they can go on any glitter base. They can go on a dark color or a light color. It doesn't matter because the backing is white, so it's not going to be like see-through like a clear cast decal. So I'm just going to stick this decal right on the tumbler and start smoothing it out. I'm going to come in with my squeegee to get any of the extra bubbles that are under the decal out of there. And if you have a stubborn bubble under your decal that you can't get out with your finger, your squeegee, or anything, you can come in with an X-Acto blade and just poke it. Poke the bubble and then come in with your squeegee and push out that air, and then it'll be gone and you won't even be able to tell that you had to poke it with a knife. So after I got this decal on, I felt like it was missing something. So I wanted to give it some more like razzle dazzle and sass for Valentine's Day. That was more my speed though. So I went over to Creative Fabrica and started searching around for like an SVG that would be cute, that still like went with the theme, but added to, if you know what I mean. So I ended up going with this design, and it says Cupid is stupid on one half, and then the bottom half, which I'll show later, says hashtag anti-Valentine's Day. I also decided that I wanted to do an offset, so I went with a gold and black offset. I wanted colors that would pop, the vinyl would pop on the tumbler, but I also wanted something that still matched the glitter and kind of pulled the glitter. So I felt like doing it this way, it would help pull the gold in the glitter out. So now I'm going to use this transfer tape and line up my decal with the gold on top of the black vinyl, and then use my squeegee to apply some pressure for an easy release to apply to my tumbler. So for a design like this where it's kind of like arched, I prefer to apply this with my fingers. I just feel like it's easier to keep it centered and not wrinkled by doing it that way, because I'm only applying pressure to the actual vinyl and not the entire strip of transfer tape. And I have to be honest here, I don't typically buy the Cricut brand transfer tape, but I was in a pinch one day and didn't have any, so I ran out to Michael's. It was on sale, grabbed it, and I'm not mad about it. I've definitely used worse. And now we are going to introduce my big head. I missed a piece of vinyl that needed to be removed, and that's what I was doing there. So I'm actually going to reuse that same piece of transfer tape to apply the second half of my decal. This is the part that says Anti-Valentine's Day, and womp, womp, womp. The S got left behind. Don't worry though, I'm going to go back and get it. I just want to get this lined up first, and then I'm going to go back and grab that S. I am going to ever so gently take this vinyl transfer tape off the decal to pick up that S. I do not want to take any of this vinyl off, so I'm being super cautious and careful not to rip anything, because I do not want to have to recut this decal. So here I am picking up the S that got left behind, and I'm just going to stick it in the corner, apply it, and then peel off the transfer tape and grab the whole decal in one go. I'm going to use my squeegee again to apply all the pressure for an easy release. Once I get that backing off the vinyl, I'm going to apply it to the bottom half of the tumbler. Again, I am going to use my fingers to apply this decal. Since it's like curved, it's easier just to get it on there with my fingers. I used to struggle really hard with curved designs because I felt like I had to use the squeegee, and you really don't. I mean, honestly, whatever works for you is what I always tell people to go with. You don't have to follow what everybody else says you have to do. And there we have it. So now I'm going to go back because that bubble caught my eye, and here I am using my X-Acto knife, and I'm just popping a little pinhole in there, and then going to come in with my squeegee to get that out, and then bam, just like magic, all gone, can't see it. To finish up this tumbler, we're just going to put that rubber piece back in the lid, and we are all finished. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.